This Is How It Always Is was written by Lori Frankel. My name is Megan Rogers, and I am a student in the Masters of Arts in Teaching program at NC State. The central premise of this book was written to make people in this world think deeply about the way we live our life, the way we see boys versus how we see girls, the way we treat others, and making the decision between what is right and what is wrong. One of my favorite reviews for this book describes the book as Lori Frankel has written one of those very rare special novels that examines the way we live in our homes, in our families, in our bodies, with an astonishing balance of humor, complexity, and above all, kindness. This Is How It Always Is teaches us to look beyond the traditional binary oppositions of boy versus girl, right versus wrong, real versus make-believe, and to find courage and beauty in the in-between. This Is How It Always is a novel about a little boy, Claude, who decides that he would like to be a little girl when he grows up. Claude's parents, Rosie and Penn, are very supportive of his decision to be a girl, who becomes named Poppy. After a traumatic experience at a play date, when one of Claude's friend's fathers decides to pull a gun out when he finds out that Claude is a girl, the family decides it is time to move from Madison, Wisconsin. The family moves to Seattle, Washington. The mom, Rosie, decides to be a doctor and join a small private practice there. Poppy lives a semi-normal life as she goes through elementary school in Seattle, while her parents struggle with what to do as she grows into her teen years. After years of secrets, Poppy's secret is revealed in 5th grade. This causes Poppy to hide herself, cut her hair, and return to Claude again. Poppy is devastated. Rosie, who has been asked from her private practice to go to Thailand to work, agrees to go work at a clinic there and bring Claude. After becoming friends with a transgender woman there named Kay, Rosie learns about the Buddhist theory of the body constantly changing and transforming. Claude also learns about the Buddhism through his English teaching there. When Rosie and Claude have the discussion that Claude and Poppy can coexist, the two return back to Seattle in the United States. Poppy attends the school's Valentine's dance and has a magical evening. When I was analyzing this book, I thought about how you have to react to this situation by having a transgender child in the classroom. As a teacher, you have to think about how you would help this child feel comfortable in the classroom and how students might treat him or her. One of the most thought-provoking points in this book was when Claude was in preschool and his teacher would not let him bring a purse as his lunchbox. In my opinion, if bringing the purse as his lunchbox made Claude feel happy, then I would allow it. This boy is unsure of who he is, and if that is what makes him feel comfortable, then the teacher should do what he or she can to make it happen. Some of my favorite passages in this book are listed below. One of them is, "You can't tell people what to be, I'm afraid," said Rosie. "You can only love and support who they already are." Another one is, "This is how it always is. You have to make these huge decisions on behalf of your kid, this tiny human whose fate and future is entirely in your hands, who trusts you to know what's good and right, and then to be able to make that happen. You never have enough information. You don't get to see the future, and if you screw up, if with your incomplete, contradictory information you make the wrong call, nothing less than your child's entire future and happiness is at stake. It's impossible. It's heartbreaking, it's maddening, but there's no alternative. Lastly, you have to help him see that if he's disappearing from the world, that's too high a price to pay for fitting in. He has to see how you shouldn't push even though you want to isn't the same as you shouldn't wear a dress even though you want to. This was a great book that I chose to read for my project, and I highly recommend it for everyone else. Thank you for listening.